Hi, Omar. Thank you so much for taking out the time to share your experience working with us, what you've learned, and how this has made a significant difference in your life and in your firm. But before we dive in with some questions that I have, I'd love it if you could share where you're at in the country, in the world, and what does your firm specialize in?
Okay, I'm located in Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. metro area, and I specialize with dental practice. That's my niche. I'm recently, thank you to Michelle, she helped me to find my ideal client, which before I have no clue. And I could say that seemed to me that I was trying to paint a wall. It seems like I would grab a bucket of paint and just splash it everywhere. And but now I really focus and things start connecting because every time that I go and do my elevation speech, it feels that okay, I know who I can connect you with. So I think I already start gaining a lot of traction in that area. So thank you
Awesome.
very much for that. Not just I think give me clarity on the things on the business portion, but also on the personal level because I believe that a lot of these things uh, especially when I wrote that letter for the clients, when you say I'm responsible, I think a lot of things that we don't do, sometimes we forget to look in the mirror and assume that responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. And Omar, I'd love it if you could share what was the biggest challenge you were having in your firm before you reached out to us for help. I know you said you learned your niche and you figured you were going to work with dental
Mhm.
practices. But as it related to your sales process and your pricing and things, what was the biggest hurdle you were having that was creating that burnout, overwhelm, lack of joy, working a lot, not making enough money, not taking responsibility and doing things for free? Like, what was that big challenge that you were dealing with personally in the firm where you said, I need help. I can no longer continue doing this way?
Well, I think you figure out that it's already started on COVID. It was already 5 years. Yes, I quit corporate, which was a big step. It was a huge challenge, but I was trying to move forward. Even my wife recently quit her job as a nurse, but I don't. We felt that we're not getting traction on the sales. We were getting maybe calls, but I think we were getting working with the wrong leads. We didn't have a sales process, so we didn't know what we were doing exactly. To be honest, we have no clue. That's and then you would spend time talking to the wrong clients instead of having the railroad policies would be like, okay, you're not ideal for me.
Right.
Let's move into what somebody else who might be a better fit for my field.
Yeah, I'm curious, how much time do you feel you wasted dealing with the wrong leads on your marketing side because you didn't know your ideal client and you were having conversations with people that were never going to probably be a good client for you? I was curious if you could share how much time you wasted before and how much time you've now gained back in your life by making these changes in your firm and creating the sales
Oof.
process.
Michelle, I think I get not just time, but a peace of mind because before I was stressed out, uh, getting on the phone, video call, and then people would just ghost me. And now they said it was like, you know what, you're not the ideal client. I would just rather go and spend that time, like maybe helping my kids with their homework. So
Yeah.
to me, it was more where I want to be with my family. I think family comes first. But anyways, I think right now I started organize a lot of things on my house, but because I think I needed to be organized on other areas before I can you can really tackle the business side.
Totally. 100% aligned and agreed. I was just curious if you had thought about how much more time you have
Oof.
to spend time with your kids and have dinner at home and not be stressed out, like, because you really did a 180, like you were getting ghosted left and right and all this time wasted and doing all these calls. But I think sometimes firm owners, we don't realize how much time we waste until you get to actually see what you see now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is just your mindset. I mean, now before we were seeing things like, oh, this person ghosts me, but since you already, I think now was more to me it was like, you know what, you're not the ideal client. I'm the one leaving you, so it wouldn't cost me because before we would kind of like fall into that emotional spiral to
Yeah.
be like, oh, why he didn't want to work with me or whatever reason might go through your mind. And now it's like I the one chosen not to work with you. I
Right.
think that's
Yeah, that's more powerful. You're in the power position.
that's Absolutely.
So, okay, let's rewind a little bit, Omar. Before you enrolled in the 8-week sales mastery course, was there a time or a thought that you thought, this isn't going to work for me? Or is this going to work for me? This has worked for all these other firm owners, but how could this really change? I've been having my firm since COVID, and you've been at this 5, 6 years, you quit corporate. What was your main concern in evaluating the Abundant Accountant 8-week sales mastery coaching program of whether this would work for you or not?
Um, I think it was a leap of faith.
Mm,
I think I listened one of your podcasts, and I was doing also some work at the personal level, and I think it's Kavala, something like along those lines, and they always talk about abundance. So
yeah,
that was what it really caught my curiosity, and that's why it was like, you know what, let's give it a try. Uh, because I think at the end of the day, I think whatever is stopping business owner is up here. It's a mindset more than
yep,
whatever we can do the work.
yeah, for sure. And how do you feel now looking back?
I wish I would have found you 5 years ago, Michelle, but at the same time, I think to me, also it's a learning experience because once you go through the grind and trying to figure out yourself, now you start seeing like the value and investing in this sort of training. You start seeing also the same way that you learn there's a value in this, there's also you put it in perspective to yourself. That's the value you're going to be adding to your clients when they're trying to work with you.
Yeah. And I'm curious, I know you wish you would have found me 5 years ago, but was there any other things that you tried to do to fix your sales process and fix how you were talking to leads and which ones to talk to and which ones to not? Did you try any other solutions or coaches or things that didn't work out for you the way you thought they should have?
I think I tried other things and it definitely did not work. I think there were some gaps. I took some training and I felt that at the end of the day, I felt that I don't want to say the name because I want to give you back publicity, but he was like, oh, once you finish this certification, you're going to have a lot of leads. But they were definitely, I mean, he had the technical expertise. It was a lawyer, but there was a lot of gaps there were no sales process in between. And I think once I started working with you, it was like, I was telling my wife, was like, you know what? This is what I should have done before this other. Uh, so yeah, definitely I wish um, things were different. But anyways, I think that things happen for a reason.
They do. So, Omar, what would you share with another firm owner that might have tried other coaches, programs, technical trainings because they think they need more technical help when really they don't? What would you share from your experience of what it was like during the 8-week sales mastery course from your
Um,
firm owner hat perspective?
I would say go 100%, take this leap, take this course because it's definitely going to change the way you see, but it's up to you to make those changes. I think at the end of the day, you give us all the tools necessary, but it's up to us to take that responsibility, as I mentioned before.
Yeah. And can you walk us through what the 8-week sales mastery program flow was like from your perspective that might help another firm owner understand your experience going through it?
Yes, I think to me it was everybody was very encouraging, like especially on the course, everybody was very respectful, and actually, you would get a lot of feedback. But also, you could see another business owners working and give you what they're doing, and then you can get ideas from there. Like, wow, I think one of the last things that you mentioned was like, well, you could be charging this fee because maybe you didn't upload on time. Let's do this. So you start getting a lot of ideas that you never thought it was possible,
Right.
and then you're like, okay, let's give it a shot.
Yeah,
So
and how soon were you able to apply what you were learning to your actual client conversations and your everyday business life and firm decisions? Like, did you have to wait the 8 weeks or did you start applying what you learned right away? Like, how did you implement what you were learning?
I think some of the things you can start doing it as you go. I mean, you don't have to wait the 8 weeks
Right.
because I think when you go into the course, a lot of people they're kind of like they're in different stages of the program. So everybody shares, contribute to the platform, what they're doing. So you can sort of grasp and maybe try to apply, even though you haven't maybe get to that maybe you haven't arrived to that part of the program, but you start people when people share, you can get those ideas and implement it on your own practice.
Yeah, for sure. Love it. And Omar, what were your biggest wins and your biggest successes other than getting to spend more time with your kids and helping them with their homework and not working so much and not wasting time? What other financial wins or wins would you like to share with another firm owner that might be considering enrolling with us?
I think it was like I was able to raise my prices. Like, right, I think I started sending right now like the increased price letters, and then some of them are double the price.
Good.
So either they get with me on board, or if they don't, okay, I started collecting money. Oh well, another thing I think was a huge thing when I started your program. I got about 25 grand on AR by the end of the program. I think I buckled up my seatbelt. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this money, and and some people didn't like it. And I was like, okay, you don't like, fine, because I'm tired also of like spending my time to collect AR.
Yeah. And no more AR moving forward,
Oh
right?
no, I don't. Actually, I just sent a couple like I got is also like I got an engagement letter that I worked with my lawyer. So now I'm sending the engagement letter and collecting the payment. No engagement letter, no payment, no
No
work.
work. Love it. And Omar, I'd love it if you can share for other firm owners that might have AR like you did. Walk us through that process. Like, did you think it was going to be possible? Did you think I was crazy when I told you you could collect all of it if you just follow my process? I mean, collecting 25,000 of AR is a really big deal. And I'm so proud that you collected all of it. And, going forward, it's definitely a thing of your past. But I think many firm owners don't realize how much time you're wasting chasing money, collecting invoices, sending invoices, billing for work that you did in the past, hoping that people pay you.
I would say I think that comes because the mindset of scarcity. I think that's where we
Mm,
are afraid if we collect, the person's gonna be like, well, you know what, I don't want to work with you.
yeah.
But once you start seeing that there's so much out there, it's like, okay, you don't work with me, you don't want to pay me on time, fine, just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I can find another, there's a line of clients coming in, or there will be a line of clients flowing asking for my service. That's the way to start seeing it. So
I'm so proud of you. So, if you could tell your younger self, Omar, about this program 90 days ago or 5 years ago, if you would have found this 5 years ago, what would you say to your younger self now that you've been through the program for a firm owner that might be hesitant on the fence, worried, will this work for me? Or I don't have the money, I don't have the time. What would you say to your younger self who might be thinking those scarcity type thoughts?
um, that's a tough question. Let me elaborate a little bit, but I would say if you're thinking that you don't have the time, you had to make the time. I think it's an investment. It's an investment, and you have to start. in- So it's an investment. You will, if it's important, your business, if you're really trying to grow your business, you will need to make the time for this.
Yeah.
You won't be able to grow your business, your practice. And at the end of the day, it's not about, I think we have the grown philosophy as an accountant that we need to get more clients. It's not the quantity, it's the quality that it matters.
Yep. Awesome. Well, Omar, thank you so much for sharing everything with us. And it's been an honor to watch your growth and see all these changes. And I hope you get to spend every night with your kids and your family doing homework and eating dinner together and never have to go back to the way things were. So before we sign off, do you have anything else you want to share, Omar, about working with the Abundant Accountant, being in the 8-week sales mastery course, or anything else that's on your heart that maybe I just did not ask you?
No, but I'm already looking forward eventually as I start getting more traction because I'm a new business owner too. I know you have a different program, and eventually I'm gonna get to, because I want to be a millionaire, and that's my goal set. So probably I'm gonna be back, Michelle. That's the only thing
Good.
to say.
I would love to have you in our mastermind program. So keep up the great work. We're always here to support you. And thank you again for taking out the time.
My pleasure.